It seems like any one of us could simply vanish off the face of the earth at any given time, and we might never see it coming. There just seems to be some places out there where it's more likely to happen than other places. From highways in Canada, where people tend to go missing, to some of the most remote places in the world. Here are mysterious places where you might disappear. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm your host American Eye, bringing to you another excellent video. Before we get started, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave us a comment to let us know what you think. But first, quick shout out goes to Intellectual Hazard for leaving us this comment on a recent video about zombies throughout history. Be sure to hit that bell and subscribe because we got more zombie videos coming up soon. Number 14. Cruise ships. There seems to be a mysterious phenomenon of people going missing while being on a cruise ship or getting off a cruise ship. It's possible that partying too much on a boat that's stocked full of alcohol and being in the middle of the ocean could lead to your ultimate disappearance. Overboard systems that detect anyone falling overboard are still in the testing phase. It might be easy to believe that most people in the group that get lost are simply rowdy tourists who've lost the rest of the group. One mysterious disappearance was that of a woman, though, who worked for a Disney cruise line named Rebecca Corium. Everyone was shocked when she went missing, considering how happy she was to get that job. Now she's gone for 8 years and 7 months, and some believe Disney is covering something up. Number 13. Lake Superior. Lake Superior is known for its beautiful scenery and its fresh water, which gives it a deep blue glow. Maybe some, though, might be unaware that Lake Superior gets a nickname of America's Ship Graveyard for a reason. It sits between the border of the US and Canada, and boats often cross this lake for trading reasons. But many storms are known to wreak havoc in this area, and the brutal winter weather can make it nearly impossible to cross. Many scuba divers who come here to witness the wreckage might be in for a surprise when they eventually go missing. It's not just people disappearing either. There are some cases where the entire ship will simply vanish with no explanation. Number 12. Highway 16, British Columbia. There are some roads out there that are so remote, if something happens while you're driving, you can essentially go missing. Driving on roads with no Wi-Fi or reception can leave someone virtually stranded, and survival mode will kick in soon. Also known as the Yellowhead Highway, it can get a number of nicknames such as the Highway of Tears due to the large number of disappearances that have occurred. You can get a pretty good idea of some of the horrifying things and all the numerous disappearances that have happened here by taking a look at the Wikipedia page. There's a pretty long list of many victims being under the age of 25. Some believe a serial killer was getting away with their dirty deeds and would stroll this highway looking for another unfortunate soul to take. Number 11. The Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle takes up a large area that stretches from Miami, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and then finally Bermuda to the east. Also known as the Devil's Triangle or Hurricane Alley, this place could be dangerous. Some would point the blame at extraterrestrials abducting people, while others believe there's some kind of paranormal activity going on. 14 members of the Navy went missing when Flight 19 mysteriously vanished over the Bermuda Triangle. While the Bermuda Triangle legend still persists in modern times, one of our first and most well-known disappearances involved Flight 19 over the east coast of Florida. 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers known as Flight 19 vanished December 5, 1945 during a U.S. Navy overwater navigation training flight. There are at least 8 cases of mysterious disappearances or unexpected crashes in this area. The most plausible explanation is unpredictable weather, but who knows? Number 10. Roanoke Island. What are the odds of 115 people from an entire colony mysteriously disappearing? This colony in present-day North Carolina was supposed to be a permanent colony established by Queen Elizabeth in the late 16th century. When other settlers came to check on the status of the colony, what they found was shocking. Only one skeleton was found, and everyone else had seemingly vanished from thin air. Some believe they were forced to leave the Roanoke colony because of hostile natives. No thorough search was conducted, but many theories leave you to wonder what happened. Was there possibly a zombie apocalypse that broke out, or aliens possibly? Number 9. Abandoned mines. While disappearing in some remote areas of the wilderness might not seem so bad, and you might have the chance to get recovered again, getting lost in an abandoned mine is a whole other story. There are really a lot of bad things that can happen in this environment, and almost no way to survive unless someone comes to your rescue. There are some stories of people wandering into abandoned mines to gather copper wire, but something goes wrong and they get trapped. You'd have to deal with low levels of oxygen, pitch black darkness, and the possibility of an explosion. There are an estimated 100,000 to 500,000 abandoned mines in the western United States alone. One bad sniff of cyanide gas can ensure that you won't be rescued. Number 8. Aruba. Located north of Venezuela, Aruba is a small island in the Caribbean which seems to have some high-profile cases of missing people throughout the years. One of those cases includes a woman named Natalie Ann Holloway, who has a $200,000 reward for information leading to her recovery. She's been gone since May of 2005, and foul play is suspected. Many people who come to Aruba are normally on cruises, which seems to raise the likelihood of them disappearing. The FBI is also looking for information about Amy Lynn Bradley, who was leaving Aruba for another island in the Caribbean when she was possibly abducted and forced into some form of slavery. Number 7. The Nevada Triangle. The Nevada Triangle is another one of those mysterious triangles you might want to avoid. It stretches from Las Vegas to Fresno to Reno and then back to Vegas. It's an area where some other mysterious Air Force bases like Area 51 and not too much else besides a whole lot of desert. Many crashes that happen in this area will go undiscovered due to the remoteness of the wilderness. One of the most notable disappearances includes the vanishing of a wealthy businessman, Steve Fawcett. He was flying a plane over the Great Basin, Nevada in 2005, but he never returned. The search was called off after looking endlessly for the wreckage, but no avail. Some believe he faked his demise, while others believe he flew too close to a restricted airspace. Eventually, a discovery was made in 2008 by a hiker in the Sierra Nevada mountains. What exactly happened, though, still remains a mystery. Number 6. Yellowstone National Park. Sure, the Yellowstone Park is America's first national park and is home to much scenic beauty, but you would certainly not want to respond to any ads for a hiking buddy who wants to go to the Yellowstone loophole zone. Why is that? Well, it turns out that due to a loophole in some jurisdictions, there's about a 50-mile zone where no one is really able to arrest you for whatever horrific crime you might decide to commit. Yellowstone Park is a federal land that is located in parts of Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. A defendant must return to the state where a crime was committed, but Congress decided that the park is only under Wyoming federal jurisdiction. This means that Yellowstone National Park in Idaho and Montana can't put a person on trial for a serious crime if it were committed there. The thin piece of land on the Idaho side has no people living there, and therefore wouldn't even be able to provide people for jury. Anyway, lawmakers haven't really made any changes here, and technically, according to the paper from a professor, you could essentially get away with it. We're not saying to go ahead and try it or anything, but if you had to pick a spot, maybe this might be the place. Number 5. Alaska Triangle. If you technically want to go missing, Alaska might not be a bad choice. Many people have become concerned to the point where the recognition of the Alaska Triangle has become official. It stretches from Juneau to Anchorage to Barrow and then back down to Juneau. The U.S. state of Alaska covers 1.7 million square miles of territory and one of the lowest populations of any state. However, it appears as though if you live here, you have a better chance to go missing than any other state in the U.S. On average, 5 of 1,000 people here will simply vanish, and the vast wilderness certainly makes that easier. Possibly the place where the most missing people are from is Nome, Alaska, all the way up north in the Arctic Circle. Some attribute the disappearances to getting too drunk, wandering off in the snow, and then freezing. The Alaskan weather is certainly not so friendly to aircraft here either, who try to maneuver their way through heavy snowstorms. Number 4. The Himalayan Mountains. While it might sound like an amazing feat to climb Mount Everest, there are too many unfortunate tales to tell people hiking up to the Himalayas and then never getting seen again. While it might seem like a thing to check off your bucket list, you're not the only one to think of it. Many who are courageous or foolish enough to go on this adventure will encounter what's known as the death zone, which is the final 1,000 feet to reach the summit. At this point, your body is getting extremely tired, altitude pressure increases, and can take a few hours to get past. Or like many people, you could be stuck here forever. Just make sure to wear a colorful jacket so you can become a useful trail marker. Number 3. The Rocky Mountain National Park. Another dangerous mountain range for people who go missing is of course the Rocky Mountains. People are less likely to find out that you're here than on Mount Everest since the hiking areas are more widespread. If you get lost in the Rocky Mountains, it's likely you won't come across anything else besides some hungry bears or some vultures waiting for you to hurry up already. Many are unprepared for the dangerous weather conditions too. Just recently in 2018, an Air Force candidate went missing here and search efforts seem to have failed. It currently ranks as the second national park with the most disappearances. Number 2. The Devil's Sea. Alright, now here's the Pacific version of the Bermuda Triangle, and it's also known as the Dragon's Triangle or the Pacific Bermuda Triangle. The legends began here in the mid-1950s when a Japanese ship began to mysteriously lose radio contact. In the following years, a Japanese newspaper known as the Yomiuri Shimbun showed a map that showcases the locations of mysterious ship disappearances. Many of the ships were lost within this triangle, and the ships were lost during perfect weather conditions, adding to the mystery. Some theorize that methane bubbles from volcanoes are to blame. And number 1. The Grand Canyon National Park. Established in 1919, it takes up 1,902 square miles of land, making it slightly smaller than the country of Trinidad and Tobago. It's one of the few landforms visible from space, and there's really nothing else like it on this planet. Ancient deserts, swamps, and oceans once existed here. The Grand Canyon is sacred land to many Native Americans such as the Hopi and Havasupai tribes. Some might be so overwhelmed by the beauty of the Grand Canyon that they actually leave their kids behind or get lost. One case of that is of Glenn and Bessie Hyde, who went rafting on the Colorado River in 1928 but were never seen again. The Grand Canyon ranks as the #1 national park where people literally get lost. So what did you guys think of that video? Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.